Ara-Kara, City of Echoes. No fluff, just bosses. Starting off with the 3 mini-bosses. They all have an AoE cone that you have to move out of, but they also have one unique ability. The first one, Ixen, casts Horrifying Shrill that does a group fear and damage. Interrupt it. The second one, Nact, casts Call of the Brood, which does heavy AoE damage. And the third one, Atik, casts Poison Cloud. Don't stand in it. The first boss, Avanoxx, is probably the hardest one in the dungeon. Tanks pop a defensive for Voracious Bite. It's big damn. When he casts Gossamer Onslaught, each player will get a swirly underneath them. If you get hit, you take damage and get a stack of a debuff, which at 5 stacks will stun you for 10 seconds. And multiple swirlies will come out during this thing. So what you want to do is loosely stack and move together as a unit around the edge of the room to maximize your space. Healers, get ready for group-wide damage when he casts Alerting Shrill. This shrill also causes eggs around the room to hatch and spawn adds that will fixate random players. And it's super important to kill these before they get close to the boss, because if they do, he'll consume one and get a stack of a 50% damage buff. On to the second boss, Anub'zekt. He'll put a dot up on players called Infestation. If you get it, pop a defensive, it's big damn. And when it expires, it'll summon a moving tornado beneath you. Don't get hit. Kill and interrupt the adds. Don't get hit by the Burrow Charge. Tanks face him away from the party so others don't get hit by the Impale Frontal. At 100 energy, the boss will begin to cast the Eye of the Storm, which will summon a big white circle. Go stand in it. Now this thing will continuously move and your entire party should be inside of it. What you want to do is have the tank on one side for the Impale Frontal and the rest of the group on the other side to avoid being hit. Now for the last boss, Kikatol the Harvester. She'll periodically cast Cultivate Poisons on the group, which will give everybody a poison debuff. When this thing is dispelled or expired, the player will summon 2 globs that travel in 2 different directions. Spread out a little bit so it's easier to dodge, and you probably want to stagger your dispels as well. There's also going to be adds around the room that will drop a puddle whenever they take damage. And these puddles become very important when the boss reaches 100 energy and starts to cast Cosmic Singularity. When this happens, you want to make sure that you don't get pulled into the center of the room by finding a puddle and standing in it. You can also use a movement spell, but if you stand in a puddle, it'll spawn a blob that will root your character. Once Cosmic Singularity finishes, you can either CC or kill your blob to move again. But make sure to pop a defensive when you're standing in a puddle because they will do damage. Don't stand in the swirlies. And that's it. You should be good to go. Now, please keep in mind, this is not supposed to be this ultra comprehensive guide. This is just supposed to be something fast, easy, no fluff, that you can pull up right during the ready check and not die during the pull. Good luck.